Good morning, everyone. This is Jay from the CoinCare group, and today we are bringing you a step-by-step tutorial for self-employed people with no employees on how to apply for the PPP program. Let's jump right into it. Who can get it? This application is specifically for sole proprietors, independent contractors, anyone who has 1099 tax forms at the end of the year, gig workers like Uber, DoorDash drivers, artists, any kind of person that sells anything online, freelance workers, and anyone who earned money from work besides a regular job. Eligibility. The government asks for two things. One, that you've been in business since before February 15th, 2020. And two, you've reported at least $5,000 of that income on your tax return. Since the PPP is a government stimulus program, and really more of a stimulus check than it is a loan, there is no credit check, no credit pull, no personal guarantee required on the money, and it has absolutely no effect on your credit score. How much can I receive? Basically, 2.5 months of money, and this is all dependent on your income. The PPP formula is taking your gross income, this is the number from line 7 of your Schedule C tax return, dividing that by 12 months and multiplying that by 2.5. So if you earned $60,000 in 2019 or 2020, you would receive $12,500 in PPP. And when you follow our guide and apply with our partner bank, that money will be 100% forgiven and yours to keep. Individuals can receive up to $20,000. There are 4 required documents. 1, photos of your ID. So you could take your driver's license, you would need to send front and back. You can use your passport or any other kind of state-issued ID. 2, you would need a voided check from your bank account. This is your direct deposit information. This is what the bank needs to, deposit the money into your account. 3, you would need your tax return. This is called a Schedule C, and it would be for 2019 or 2020. Whichever year you earned more income in, that would maximize the amount of PPP that you can receive. And 4, you would need a February 2020 bank statement or invoice to prove that you were actively working at the time. All right, so now that you know that you qualify and you've prepared your documents, click the link in the description and we'll jump straight to the tutorial. Okay, so you've landed on the ALC PPP website. You're going to start by creating an account, and then it'll bring you to a page that looks just like this. And there are 2 very important things here. 1, the application to apply, and 2, a point of interest for later after you get funded is the loan forgiveness application. This is where you would also go to submit for loan forgiveness. Super simple. So let's get started. Start a new application. On the first page, you're going to start with business name. Now, if like most other sole proprietors and independent contractors, you don't have a business name, you would just enter your own name. If you do have a DBA, as in you do business under a different name, you would put that in this box. But in our example, we do not have a DBA and we are not registered with the state in any way. So this does not apply. Now, this section is very, very important. You'll be entering priority code 8821. This links your application to CoinCare Group, and it allows us to provide further support if anything is required. We'll make sure that we push your application through. We're just going to skim through these sections here. On this page, you'll click sole proprietorship. If you're an independent contractor, you can also click independent contractor, but those are the 2 options here. How many employees did you have? We'll put 1 because we are our only employee. We don't have a tax ID or employer identification number because we are not an employer. 6-digit NAICS code. So this is an industry classification code. You would find it at the top right of your Schedule C in box B, but for today's example, we're actually going to search ours up. John Doe is a limo driver. Okay, we found ours. We're going to copy and paste that number into the box and we'll continue. We're going to skim through these. We are not a franchise. So this comes from line 7 of your Schedule C. This is your gross income. You'll find it on your tax return, and you have to make sure you choose either 2019 or 2020 tax return. No, we did not receive an EIDL loan. This does not apply to us. Purpose of the loan is payroll costs. For all independent people, payroll costs is really the only thing you should bother with. You can pay yourself 100% of the money and it'll be forgiven. We are a US citizen. I know I'm going really fast here. Most of the stuff you don't need any of my help with. If you do, just slow the video down, take your time, no rush. Okay, so what percentage of your business do you own? We own 100% of our business because it's just us. The other section is for people who have partners. You don't have a partner in your business if you're a sole proprietor. But make sure you read all of these thoroughly before continuing. I know I'm rushing through this, but this is all personal stuff. Every person has a different situation here, but make sure you read them all before you answer. So on this page, basically make sure you read through all this as well. This kind of just brings out the terms of the loan in general. This is where you do certify that you have been in business since before February 15th and that you understand that you're supposed to spend this money on payroll. Since you are your only employee, you do count as payroll, so you pay 100% to yourself. But yes, make sure you read through all of these, check them, and go through. Now on this page, you'll be uploading your 2019 or 2020 Schedule C tax return. Now make sure that this is the same year that you used to enter your gross income from on the application earlier. On the next page, this is where you would upload your ID. You can put your driver's license. You just make sure you put your front picture and back picture. Make sure it's very clear and easy to read. You can also upload your passport or any other state-issued identification. Click the Add button to add a second slot. This is where you would upload a 2020 invoice or bank statement to prove that you were an active business in February 2020. Make sure you upload a bank statement that shows some kind of deposits from work or an invoice that shows that you were in business at this time. You only need one document. So on this page, really this does not apply to any kind of independent contractor or sole proprietorship. This page mainly applies to businesses that have employees or partnerships that need to upload their earnings documents. This does not apply to independent people. Okay, on this next page, we're looking at business identity verification. This does not apply to sole proprietorships or independent contractors. The next page and the following few pages are going to be payroll related. They do not apply to us at all in this tutorial. We're just going to continue and skip through these. Where would you like your funds deposited? So John Doe banks at Chase Bank. Make sure the name on the application matches the name on the account, on the checking account. Here's where you will also upload your direct deposit info directly, as well as a picture of the voided check so that the bank can verify you are indeed the owner of that bank account and it matches up with the name on the application. They will not fund you until they can clearly see a void check on this account. So make sure the picture is clear and make sure that you do upload it. This just about wraps up the entire application. Super simple. Is someone helping you fill this out? Yes, CoinCare Group is. Okay, so now that you have applied, what's next? Here's the PPP timeline. The bank reviews your application, and that takes about 3 or 4 business days. You'll receive a DocuSign at this point. This DocuSign shows you an overall what your application looks like, what your PPP amount looks like, and what the bank will submit to the government for you. Then the SBA reviews the application. This takes normally about 2 to 3 business days. Sometimes they're a little bit slower, so it'll take 3 to 4. Once the SBA approval is in, you'll receive closing documents from the bank. After you sign these, you'll be funded in 8 to 10 days. And lastly, apply for forgiveness on the ALC website, just like I showed you guys earlier. Thank you so much for watching. This marks the end of the video. The government did actually extend the program to May 31st, so you may be eligible to receive a second draw. That means you can receive a second PPP loan and both will be fully forgivable. Hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more PPP and stimulus updates. We are following the situation very closely. We have more videos coming for you, more tutorials, more information. You can find us on other platforms and join the community in Reddit or Facebook. If you have any questions, or if you've already applied and maybe even been funded, drop a comment below.